Earlier this week, Fallout 76 had a brand new update, the Camp Revamp, and as the name would imply, it was all about reworking the camp building system and workshops and building, and a really good update from builders. It sounds like this is great, and seeing as a lot of the long-time players are focused on camp builds, that's a great thing. However, I was far more interested in something else in the patch notes, specifically, increases to weapon ranges. So not only did this patch have a bunch of updates to camp building and workshops and all of that stuff, but there was also a pretty big damage rework in some interesting ways, which I think is why it's not really been the main focus, because it's not just a damage patch, it's something we've decided to add on. But just that phrase, increases to weapon ranges, got me so hopeful. So for those who don't know me or haven't seen a lot of my earlier content or aren't currently watching my Fallout 4 Perception Survival on Bad Company Gaming, go check that channel out, it's where I do Fallout challenge runs and stuff. For those who don't know, I love to play as a sniper. It's just my favourite playstyle by far. When I first ever got Fallout 76 and started playing it back in 2018 now, I tried to play a sniper build. It was what I wanted to do. If you go watch the earliest Fallout 76 videos on this channel, you will see me playing as a sniper. And it was bad. God, it was so bad. Now, there's multiple reasons for that, and I need to explain them all. First off, just sniper rifles, they're quite slow firing. And back in New Vegas and Fallout 4, you could get away with using a sniper rifle as your main weapon. The slow fire rate, the having to pick off enemies one at a time, it wasn't a huge deal. Snipers weren't amazing in either of those games for the other reasons I'm about to get to, but you could comfortably, on your own, just pick off enemies one at a time. In most situations. The game rarely put you, immediately into combat, or somewhere where a sniper rifle was just impossible to use. Fallout 76, on the other hand, has pretty much always been a DPS game. You want to deal a lot of damage to a lot of enemies all at once. Enemies in general are just quite tanky because it's supposed to be a multiplayer game, you're playing with friends, they tend to be in big groups as well, and for events and stuff like that, you just have swarms and swarms and swarms of enemies. Way too many to take out just on a single fire rifle. Just never gonna work. The other two big things, one is render distance, and this was a huge issue in Fallout 4 and, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. Just render distance always made rifles just not good for super long range combat. In Fallout 4, I never, ever modded on a long range scope to any rifle, because you'd be looking further away than enemies could actually spawn in. There just wasn't a point to it. The render distance just made it so it wasn't really practical to be super long range anyway. But then something 76 did to a huge degree, which made just sniping the worst thing ever in this game in particular, was damage drop-off. You have to be so close to enemies to actually deal full damage, even with a sniper rifle. I get it for shotguns or even pistols maybe, that after a certain range the damage starts to drop off significantly. But for sniper rifles, if you shot an enemy who was just more than a stone's throw away, you'd be dealing half damage at best. Playing as a sniper was just so terrible for so long, and I've tried to make it work plenty of times in this game, for years and years, and it never has. But with this new update, I decided to check out the game again and see if I could finally play as an actual sniper. So first things first, I had to change my build with specials and perks, because I had been playing as a ghoul cowboy. If anyone wants to see what that build is like, I do actually have a build video of it on the channel, and that was the most fun I had, while still having to be pretty short range. But being a sniper and seeing the new perks, some of which have been updated, it was clear I was going to have to change things drastically. The perception perks, specifically those that were previously Rifleman, Expert Rifleman and Master Rifleman, which before were just an extra 10 to 20% damage with rifles each, have now changed to these perks, which are just so much cooler and so much more thematic, and at some point I'm going to do an entire video about how Fallout 76 now has the best perks, because they've just rechanged and rebalanced them all to make builds actually interesting, rather than just constantly, oh, what is the highest damage number I can get? I love the changes. Everyone at Bethesda who has decided to make these changes, mwah, kisses, love them. So anyway, I changed my build, if you didn't get that from all of it, and I switched it up. I'll show it on screen right now for anyone who wants a proper detailed look. It's a bit of a mismatch thing, and you may also notice that I've got like energy weapons and stuff boosted in intelligence. I had more points than I needed. And I also decided to check through my weapons to find snipers that I stored away years ago. One of them was an instigating hunting rifle, which I'm pretty sure I got in the first like month or two of the game being out. Like, this is 2018 we're talking about, but I got this rifle. And the most recent weapon of the four I picked up was Slugbuster, which is a weapon you get in Wastelanders, I believe, and the main quest you can pick that up. So my most recent weapon is 5 years old. That's how long I've not been using snipers for. Yeah, they've just really not been good. Now that I had my weapons, specifically the hunting rifle, the instigating hunting rifle, I got a lever action rifle, I got a Slugbuster, which is a plasma rifle, and I picked up a Gauss rifle as well to see if I can make that work, it was time to mod them. And obviously damage was a big focus, just highest damage wherever possible, but also range and a little bit of accuracy too, because I want these weapons to be deadly at the longest range possible, so I've got to mod them to make them that way. And yeah, after I was done modding, it was time to test them out. So I headed over to West Tech. I know this area pretty well. I also needed to pick up Toxic Goo because my character's a ghoul, so I figure, hey, I'll just snipe the mutants outside, this will be a good test. Not like crazy long range or anything, I could always snipe these if needed, but I can at least test out the accuracy, the damage numbers, just be fairly confident with it all. And as it turns out, I deal thousands of damage per shot. And even the distant enemies, I'm able to headshot comfortably and still deal thousands of damage. In fact, I didn't notice a damage drop-off in this section. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not super long range or anything, but in the past, I'd be noticing a huge damage drop-off already, just even at this like medium range to it all. But instead, I'm able to snipe all the mutants easily. I say I snipe all of them. There was actually one that was hiding behind cover, and I was like undetected during all of this, and I didn't really want to move from my spot. But then another player showed up to finish off a final enemy, which was nice of them, but they charged in with an aggressive build, and they went down, which I didn't realise about, but hey, I didn't take any damage, which was really nice and how playing as a sniper should be. Sure, I was slower than they were to kind of get in and kill everything, but I didn't go down, I didn't take any damage, it was great. And after that, I figured I'd head inside and figure out how the sniper build's going to work in shorter ranges. Because yes, I will check out longer ranges shortly, but it's important to make sure I hadn't made a build that could only work when I was really far from the enemy. And at short range, it worked pretty well too. The lever action rifle really came in clutch here. I actually modded it out with a reflex sight rather than a scope, because I did have in mind that this would be my close range weapon for when it was too close to just scope up on enemies. Unfortunately, Slugbuster just didn't hold up as well. The initial damage numbers did look a fair bit lower, but I figured an energy weapon might be nice. And even with me using perks specifically designed to increase damage with energy weapons, it just wasn't very good. So yeah, Slugbuster didn't work well, but the lever action rifle, amazing. Especially because it's suppressed and I can get up to 5 times sneak attack bonus, that's a big modifier. With both short and medium range seeming to work fine with this build, I then decided to do something I have never done before inside this game. I modded a long scope onto the hunting rifle. It's just never been worth it before. But then I figured I should test out the long scope. And my camp isn't that far from Wavy Willards, so I tried to stay pretty close to my camp and spot enemies who were still at Wavy Willards. And then I shot them. And they died. Like, seriously, look at this footage. I am shooting enemies who are so far away and still dealing thousands of points of damage. There is, like, no significant damage drop-off at all. At most, I may be losing, like, a couple of 100 points of damage, and I'm dealing, like, 4,000 points of damage. It's ridiculous. I also, after I'd picked off a few enemies, went in a bit closer, and I tested out the Gauss rifle. And the Gauss rifle was about as effective as the hunting rifle, did like a similar level of damage, but it needs time to charge up and has rarer ammo. In fact, I actually had to mod it to stop being prime ammunition and just be standard 2mm electromagnetic cartridges, which, yeah, are still kind of rare, and I was like, this is... When it's only as good as the hunting rifle, but also requires time to charge up, it's just objectively a bit worse, which is a shame. But anyway, after that I decided to do even more testing on the hunting rifle itself, because that was clearly going to be my main weapon. And at this point I headed over almost to a workshop. I didn't actually go close. You'll see in the footage, I decided to snipe some mole rats. Because there was these mole rats who were at the furthest render distance possible. And I'm sorry I'm speaking badly, but I'm getting excited, because I was able to shoot them! I was able to snipe the mole rats, who were so far away that I couldn't even see the stuff rendered in around them. This is like maximum render distance far away. And I've got a pretty good PC, so this isn't even like PC restrictions here, this is just as far away as enemies will pretty much render for me. And I was able to snipe the mole rats. I was even able to headshot a bunch of them. I can actually be a long-range sniper. But before I get too excited, which that ship's already sailed, I'm clearly too energetic and too hyper about it all now. Before all of that, I was like, you know what, I should test this out in like actual real scenarios. Because most of the time when you're playing, you're not just sniping mole rats from up a hillside. That's not how you normally play. Normally, events. Events are what you do most of the time in Fallout 76, I find. And fortunately for me, Beasts of Burden had started, so I decided to test out the new playstyle with actual regular gameplay. And it worked! So I was switching between the lever action rifle and my instigating hunting rifle, and the lever action's definitely better for like up close with groups of enemies, particularly because I can use VATs for pretty easy headshots, and with the high perception, it's just like 95% chance pretty much all the time. Nice and simple. However, when I want to be a bit further at range, and what I did for the Ogua, I have no idea how you pronounce the name of that enemy, but when that enemy spawned in, I was able to just snipe it with my standard sniper rifle, and yeah, it was nice and easy and dealing thousands of points of damage again. Oh, it went well, and I never expected that to be the case when playing as a sniper build inside of 76. But we're not done. We're not done, because I was missing a huge, a crucial, a pivotal detail, which I'd even read in the patch notes and forgotten about when I came to testing. So when I was wandering through the Cranberry Bog, going to snipe some super mutants and stuff, I found the zoom levels. Oh, what, you thought that was as far in as I could zoom with my sniper? Nuh-uh. The long scope has 2 additional levels of zoom. If you tap the VATS button while scoped in, you zoom in further and just cycle through the ranges. Oh my god, it's so good. I love it. I love it so much when a scope rifle has multiple levels of zoom. It's beautiful. It's so good. It meant I was able to zoom in real close and look at enemies' faces while so far away they had no idea who was shooting them. They were just standing there, and then they dropped dead, and they never even saw me. It was gorgeous. I was able to snipe super mutants, anglers, and this pair of fog crawlers which charged at me. And they got nowhere near me. And I was able to double tap each of them. 2 shots to take down fog crawlers. That's really good. That was amazing. As a final test, I decided to snipe some blood eagles, because I found a blood eagle and I then ran away. I ran so far away that I physically could not see them. You will not be able to see them in the footage when I get to the range. You will barely be able to see the little burnt out truck that they're camped in. And then I decided to snipe them. And I still dealt over 4,000 damage with each headshot. The damage drop off was nothing. It still worked perfectly at the longest range possible, so far away that I couldn't see them unless I scoped in. And there was no damage drop off. And I've waited years for this, and it feels so good. I was supposed to make this video yesterday. This was supposed to come out yesterday, but I was having fun and I just kept playing. I did Scorched Earth, and while I didn't do amazing or anything, I was able to shoot the Super Mutant Scorch Beast Queen. That's the name of it, the Scorch Beast Queen, when she was just flying away off over everywhere and nobody else could hit her. It was great. I'm actually having fun again in 76, and I can finally be a sniper, and this might be my favourite patch ever now, because it's just so good. I love being able to snipe things at a distance. Oh, I just wanted to make this video to positively vent. It's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Well, hope you enjoyed this video, and me just being really positive. It's nice, my last video was kinda negative. Does really show the difference that I'm like, oh, 7 years later and Fallout 76 has amazing updates still, and then 2 years of Starfield and I'm like, where are the updates? Go watch my Starfield video if you're interested to see what that game's like after 2 years. But 76 has just got so much better for me, and you can finally play as a sniper, and it's actually effective. I've been doing it for the past couple of days now, and while it's definitely not going to be the meta build or the most popular or anything, it actually works now, and I love that. Thank you, Bethesda. Thank you for finally letting me play as a true sniper inside of Fallout. I love it so much. Anyway, if you want more content from me, then subscribe to this channel and my second channel, Bad Company Gaming, where I do challenge runs. Feel free to like the video. I've got a Patreon if you want to throw money at me because I'm happy. I don't know. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. Sarge out.